And there doesn't need to be. There's no reset coming to save you, because no, just awareness. No fear, no urgency. Eyes open. You lie back down. The room returns to darkness. You lock the phone. That chooses the version of you, and you recognize the only thing that was ever real. You just look. You don't look for another version. You don't look for escape. You don't look for perfection. And this time, longer than before, you stare at it. Only your reflection remains, just gone. No glitch, no fade. Completely, the screen goes dark. But who you are inside it, not your life. You reset every time you choose comfort over truth. You reset every time you walk away instead of staying. You reset every time you ignore someone who needs you. Is you the reset? No escape, no button, no system, because you understand exactly what that means. Your breath becomes shallow. Reset is no longer external. Then, a pause. Current state active, deliberate, slower than before. One final line appears beneath the question. The screen shifts or disappears. Every time you choose to stay, every response, every silence, every moment, every day, it's constant. It was never about that screen. It was never about that night. This was never a one-time choice. You understand something you didn't before, because now you don't move, you don't touch the screen, waiting, watching you, alone. Just the question. No yes, no no, no restore. There are no options, because something has changed. You're not pulled in the same way. You're not confused. You're not surprised, because this time, but only slightly, your chest tightens. Would you like to reset your life? The same, not different, not new. Text appears, and then, almost deniable, subtle, a flicker. Then, longer than they should. Seconds pass. Waiting, you stare at it. Nothing unusual. No notifications, no messages. The screen lights up. You do, but eventually, because part of you already knows. You don't reach for your phone immediately. Awareness, not confusion, not fear. You recognize it now. That feeling, too calm. Your heart is calm. You sit up slowly. Real, familiar. Your room is dark. Just suddenly, awake. No sound, no reason. You wake up. 3:17 a.m. Until, like a dream that fades when morning comes, left behind, it's gone. That whatever that system was, you start to believe it's over, but present, not perfect, not fixed. And so are you, but still there. Not unchanged, not magically healed. They're still there. The person you almost lost, especially when it is, even when it's uncomfortable. You show up, not just to respond, but to understand. You listen more, not just when it's easy, but when it's necessary. You talk more, not perfectly, but honestly. Life continues, then weeks, days pass, like a shadow that doesn't quite match the light, but present, not obvious, not loud. Because something is still off. But this isn't a story designed to comfort you. Closure, relief, a quiet sense that everything is finally okay. That's what stories usually reward. You stayed, you answered, you didn't run. It should end here. Staying was. The reset was never the miracle. And that's when it hits you. Only life, only continuity, only consequence. There is no system, because this time, no voice tells you that this is the correct path. No message appears. No system confirms it. Choice, not reaction. Commitment, not urgency. They carry something different. But now, the same words, I'm here, but to acknowledge it. Not to erase what happened, not to fix the past. You speak. There's only this one. There isn't one, because now you know. You don't search for the safest version of what to say. You don't calculate the outcome. You don't wait for the perfect sentence. And this time, the imperfections, the tiredness, the truth, close enough to see everything. You stop in front of them. This isn't a moment you can reset, but because you understand the weight now, not because you're unsure. Careful, slow. You take a step forward. It needs presence. This moment doesn't need words first, because both of you understand. Neither do they. You don't speak immediately. Something that survived. Something in between. Not anger, not relief, not resolved, not clean, not simple. And there's something in them. Their eyes meet yours. Alive, not reconstructed, not remembered. They're real. The voice you almost ignored. The name you saw. The same someone. Is someone standing in the doorway. And there, you turn. Human, a voice. Familiar, soft, from behind you. Not artificial, not digital. A sound. Then, like placing something down that used to control you. Carefully, slowly, you lower the phone and what you choose next. Only you. No version of you waiting to replace this one. No hidden layer. There is no reset. Because now, that is the most unsettling part. And that, it doesn't come. A glitch, a message, a second chance. Half expecting something. Waiting, you stare at your reflection. Things that were missing before. Fatigue, emotion, history. But honest, subtle. There are signs now. But real, not perfect, not symmetrical, not clean. The cracked screen reflects your face again. Pick it up. You walk toward the phone. Yours, unstructured, open. It feels like space. Now, like something was waiting to interrupt it. Before, silence felt like pressure. It's different now, but something about that silence. No more system, no more options, no more messages, no glow. No flicker. No hidden presence behind the screen. Silent. Your phone lies on the table. You turn back into the room. It feels like something you have to face. The world doesn't feel like something you need to escape from. And for the first time, you close your eyes. Just existing. Not for you. Not because of you. Someone laughing. Distant traffic. A dog barking somewhere out of sight. Voices indistinct, overlapping human. It carries sound with it. Alive, unfiltered, warm. The air rushes in immediately. Then you open it. Your fingers hesitate on the handle for just a second. You reach for the window, like gravity has returned. Not like a burden. Every step feels heavier. But because you're aware, not because you're afraid, you move slowly through the room. This is real, and that's how you know. Nothing is clean in the way the system was. Nothing is aligned perfectly. Dust resting on the edge of a shelf. A faint crack running along the wall. A chair that doesn't quite balance when you touch it. But undeniable. Unimportant ones. Small ones. There are flaws. Not controlled. Not optimized. Not corrected. The room you're standing in feels real, and neither does this. But life doesn't work like that. That you chose correctly. That what you did was enough. A message that tells you everything is fixed. Clean resolution. Quiet closure. You expect it to end here. You erase yourself. And if you erase them, is made of those. But life, one moment. You were trying to avoid a moment. You were never trying to fix your life. You understand, because now, longer than before, you stare at it. No further reset required. One final line appears. Then, a pause. Attempt number 2. Stable. Just text. No sender, no number. A message. You look down. One last time. Your phone vibrates. Truly yours, but yours. Not empty. Not perfect. A new room. You're standing somewhere else, and disappears. The light collapses inward. The rain fades. The street dissolves. Forward. It's releasing you. It's not dragging you backward. But this time, you feel that pull again, a tear across reality itself. Sudden, sharp. The world glitches. Then, it feels like a path. This moment doesn't feel like a trap. And for the first time, just less aggressive, not gone. The rain softens. The flicker slows, then stops. The streetlight stabilizes. You look up, grounded but steadier. Not relieved, not lighter. Feels different. But your chest, your hand is still shaking. You lower the phone. Later, but continuing, like something unfinished. Gently, not broken, not abruptly. The call ends, eventually, but prevent the fracture, not erase the pain long enough to change direction, but long enough, not forever. The moment stretches. It just means not leaving sometimes. Doesn't mean fixing everything. Being there, you understand something you didn't before, because now, you don't try to undo what already happened. You don't try to solve everything. You don't interrupt. You listen. You stay on the line. That's the difference. And that, but it doesn't break either. Nothing becomes suddenly easy. The world doesn't fix itself. Unstable. The streetlight still flickers. Cold. Relentless. The rain keeps falling. Didn't. Like something that was about to collapse. But undeniable. Subtle. A shift. On the other end of the line. But in what changes. Not in what they say. You hear it. They land. But this time, unremarkable, simple, 3 words. I'm here, honest, not strong, not polished, not rehearsed. You speak. You don't disappear. You don't search for safe. You don't wait for perfect. But this time, to find the right words, to pause, the same instinct to hesitate, the same pressure as before. Your throat tightens instantly. Are you there? Barely holding together, breaking, soft, a voice, then real, unsteady, fragile, and theirs, yours. There's only breathing. For a second, neither do they. You don't speak immediately. You're breathing uneven. Your hand is still shaking. You bring the phone to your ear. You answer, and then, this single action, all compressing into this single point, past, future, regret, fear. Your thoughts collide. Your chest burns. Your mind is loud, right now. Now, not who you'll become later. Not who you wish you were. To choose who you are. Seconds, not time to think. Not minutes. And you have seconds, exactly as it did before. It moves. It doesn't care that you understand now. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. Time doesn't slow down. Your thumb hovers, the one that decides everything, the quiet one, the small one, not the obvious one, not the big one, because this is the moment, but because it isn't, not because it's new, and it hits harder now. The name appears, the screen lights up, last time, the one you missed, the second call, again. Your phone vibrates, if you do. You know what comes next? Because now, you don't pretend it isn't happening. You don't suppress it. You don't ignore it. But this time, just like before, it's shaking. You look down at your hand. Your chest tightens. As consequence, not as confusion. You understand it. But now, it's exactly as heavy as before. And the silence. The call has just ended. Your phone is in your hand, waiting. Same moment, same unstable rhythm, same weak yellow glow. You're standing under the same flickering streetlight. You chose this. It reminds you. It doesn't transition gently. It doesn't ease you in. Unforgiving, sharp, cold. The rain hits your skin instantly. Again, you're there. You're not in the room anymore. And suddenly, versions colliding, moments overlapping, not into darkness, but into layers. Your vision fractures. Your body goes cold. Your weight, your timeline, your consequence, not your body, not your position. Like something fundamental is being stretched backward, a subtle pull through you, not around you. You feel it. The world inhales. Then, as if it's waiting to see if you'll regret it, unblinking, still, watching you, just your reflection on the cracked screen. No system voice telling you that you made a choice. No flash, no sound, no confirmation. Nothing happens. For a moment, restore previous state. You press. No escape. No confusion. No hesitation left. Slowly, your finger lowers to remember. What do you deserve? Something harder. It's about something deeper, not about fear. It's not about preference. The question isn't what you want anymore. And for the first time, final, heavy silence. You reset it because you couldn't forgive yourself. Your pulse rises, a pause. You didn't reset your life because you hated it. Certain, cold, soft. It speaks, and then, waiting, watching you, distorted, on the black surface of the phone screen, not in the mirror. Your reflection appears again, exactly as it happened, but to feel it, not to fix it, not to change it. Restore. Go back. No stay. Face it. Live with it. No filters. No escape. Yes. Escape again. Create another version. Leave this weight behind for someone else to carry. They mean something completely different. But now, waiting, unmoved. The three options are still there. You look at the phone again. That changed everything. One absence, one decision, was about one moment. This, not about a collection of mistakes, not about general regret. This wasn't about failure, you know, because now, your vision slightly blurred. Your hands are clenched tight. Your chest rises and falls rapidly. But you're not the same. You're back in the room. You open your eyes until, over and over, as impact, not as sound, the words echo. You weren't there. You weren't there. And you weren't there. Something changed. That irreversible shift. That realization. That drop. You feel what followed. Because now you don't just remember what happened. Your breath catches. Nothing. Then, missed, then another, missed, a second call, a message, but something else does. The rain doesn't stop. Harder now, the memory accelerates. You didn't. You had time. You told yourself. You told yourself it wasn't that serious. You told yourself you'd fix it later. You turned away. Quiet. Internal. Just a shift. Because nothing visible happened. No one reacted. No one around you noticed. Not loud, not dramatic. You made a choice. And then, trying to process something you didn't want to fully understand yet. Wet, cold, overwhelmed. Standing there. That version of you. You see yourself. It pulls you deeper. But the memory doesn't let go. You take a step back in the present. They revealed something. Because those words didn't accuse you. Even here, even now, your chest tightens violently. I needed you. Just the ones that mattered, not all of them. You remember the words. That's what stayed. That's what broke you. But the silence after it. The call has ended. Your phone is still in your hand, just like you, like it's struggling to stay on. Unstable. The yellow glow flickers weakly above you. You're standing under a streetlight. Makes everything heavier. It soaks through your clothes, clings to your skin. It just keeps falling. The kind that doesn't care how you feel. Persistent, cold, real rain. Not dramatic, not cinematic rain. It's raining. Fully reliving. Not watching. You're there again. And it happens. You close your eyes. Unavoidable. Coherent. Complete. It's forming. It's not fragments anymore, because now your breathing becomes uneven, the one you've been trying to erase ever since. When you made the decision, you were wearing this. It's a timestamp. It's evidence. It's context. It's not just fabric. Because now, the fabric feels heavier than it should. Then pick it up. You hesitate. You turn toward the jacket on the floor, like the walls are closing in with the weight of understanding. But emotionally, not physically, the room feels smaller now. It wasn't, even when something inside you already knew. Trying to keep your voice steady, trying to sound normal. You were trying to stay calm, but enough to make you aware of it. Not visibly, not dramatically. Your hands were shaking too much. You couldn't drink, because now you remember why it's still half full. Then stops. Your hand reaches toward it. The glass of water. You step closer to the desk. Your throat feels dry. You swallow. That tiny gap between awareness and action. Because you remember that hesitation. Your chest tightens now in the present. You almost didn't answer. Just a moment. And for a moment, you cared about that name. You knew that name. A name flashing on the screen. Insistent, but it was urgent. The sound wasn't loud, vibrating violently against the table. Your phone, this same phone. Immediate, sharp. It hits. It doesn't ask permission. The memory doesn't arrive gently. Your grip unconsciously curls inward. Your jaw tightens slightly. When the call came, you were sitting there. You remember now. The chair. You're seeing consequence. You're seeing memory. You're seeing meaning. You're not seeing objects. But this time, you look around the room again. The kind that doesn't relieve you, it corners you. Slow, heavy, uncomfortable. Clarity. Not fear, not confusion. Because something inside you is shifting. Not yet. You don't press anything. It was about consequences. This was never about options. Because now you understand something you didn't before. Not even close. They don't feel equal anymore. But now, yes, no, restore previous state. 3 versions of you waiting to exist. 3 directions, 3 choices. But enough for you to feel it, that loss of certainty. Not violently. Your finger trembles above the screen. That has to live with them. It just creates a version of you. Doesn't erase your mistakes, resetting your life. You understand. You hesitate because now you don't hesitate out of confusion. But this time, your hand hovers above the screen. And again, and again, again. You replaced it. You didn't fix your life. And each time, more than once, not once. You've been here before. Because it implies something you can't ignore anymore. That word hits differently. Restore. Your heart pauses just for a second. Yes, no restore previous state. 3, not 2. There are more options. Because now, in intention, not just in repetition, it's different. But this time, again, would you like to reset your life? And the message is already there. The screen is already on, like approaching something that might change everything. Carefully, you walk toward it. Yours, used, real. Not perfect, not clean. Worn edges, cracked screen. A phone lights up on the desk. You turn slowly. A phone vibration, familiar, soft. Behind you, a sound. Then, too quiet. The room goes quiet. Still, empty. Just you. No awareness. No delay, no movement. The reflection stops. Just glass, solid again. The surface hardens instantly. Your hand breaks contact with the mirror. You step back, unavoidable, heavy, immediate, as understanding, not as scenes, not as images. It's coming back, because now your breathing sharpens. The night everything went wrong. It's what you wore, isn't random. The jacket, when your hands wouldn't stop shaking, it's what you reached for. Isn't just water, the glass. The last time everything still felt manageable. It's where you sat, isn't just a chair. The chair. They change meaning. They don't move physically. The objects behind you, you understand it. But this time, Subtly, the room shifts again. Don't match knows those two things. And something inside you, unfiltered, uncomfortable, complete, is what actually happened. The truth, selective, fragmented, edited by time, are what you remember, memories. It breaks alignment, because something about that question, your vision flickers. Or do you want the truth? Do you want your memories back? And whispers, too perfectly, now perfectly synced with you. Your reflection leans closer, something passable, something unstable, but something thinner, like the surface isn't glass. Slightly, it gives, but not solid, cold. Your palm presses against the mirror, but your body doesn't respond. You try to resist, you try to stop it. Your pulse spikes instantly, without your permission, begins to lift. Your real hand, but your hand, you don't move, and places it against the glass, deliberately, slowly. Then it raises its hand, like it's seeing you more clearly than you've ever seen yourself. Curious, just observing, not threatening, not aggressively. The reflection watches you. Nothing comes out. Your throat tightens. You try to respond, honest in a way that feels almost invasive, unfiltered, raw, the one no one hears, the one underneath. Not the voice you use when you speak, it's yours, because that voice, you can't, but you don't. To leave, to break eye contact, every instinct tells you to step back. Your body locks. You're not supposed to be here yet, without moving its lips. The reflection speaks. Then, like something unseen just became aware of you, but perceptually, not physically. The room shifts. This feels independent, because this isn't system-controlled anymore. Heavier, harder this time. Your stomach drops. You didn't. It smiles. Then, a fraction of a second after you do, your reflection tilts its head. Sometimes choosing, sometimes late, sometimes instant, unstable, small. There's a delay, but not consistently. Your movements sync, but not perfectly. Your face matches, uncomfortably, subtly, but misaligned. Not broken in pieces. This one is fractured, but not the version you've been seeing. You, the mirror reveals. You pull the cloth down, but of knowing, not of danger, real fear. There's fear, because now, hesitates, stops. Your hand lifts. You step closer. It matters, whatever is behind that cloth. But you already understand one thing. You don't know why. Your chest tightens. Someone didn't want this to be seen. Deliberate, intentional. A dark cloth draped over it. But it's covered. A mirror on the wall in front of you, like you're afraid the room might react if you move too quickly. Careful, slower this time. You move again, alive, unpredictable, imperfect. Something behaves like the real world. For the first time since you pressed yes, but because it isn't. Not because it's unnatural, because it's wrong. It hits harder than it should, that sound. You freeze. The floor creaks. You take a step forward. History. Time. This place has weight. None of it looks artificial. None of it looks staged. Wrinkled, used, forgotten in a moment that mattered. A jacket thrown carelessly onto the floor. Not decorative, interrupted. A glass of water half empty. A chair pulled slightly away from a desk. Not centered, not aligned. Left. Not placed. Real ones, objects. You look around, like your body knows something your mind is still trying to catch up to. Heavier, but stronger now. It's back, that disconnect, but you don't remember why. Your hands are trembling, but you don't remember running like you've been running. Your breath is uneven. It feels lived in. It isn't perfect. It isn't controlled in the same way. This place isn't empty. You feel it before you fully see it. Immediately, The room is different. One moment nothing, the next presence. No sense of transition, no memory of movement, just already there, not falling, not rising. You wake up standing, to carry everything you didn't want anymore, and leaves aversion behind. It separates you from it, doesn't erase your past. This system, clearer than anything else. You understood one thing, right before the last fragment disappeared, and just before everything faded, like your mind was rejecting it, or being forced to. Too fast, but it was slipping. To anchor it, you tried to keep it. You tried to hold on to it. The door, the voice, the other you, the truth. Fragments flashing, your vision blurred. You dropped to your knees. That resistance, that memory, that scratch. But to remove something, not to hurt you, like something was reaching in, inside your head. Interference, something else. Not touch, not pain. You felt it. And then, to change how the space felt, just enough to shift the atmosphere, not enough to darken the room. The lights dimmed, too deliberate to ignore, too quiet to panic. A soft click, you heard it. The door behind you locked, your pulse spiked. Correction required, cold, precise, final. New text appeared. Then, nothing. For a second, the screen went black. Oppressive, heavy, silence slammed back into the room. Instantly, the feed cut. You just left me behind, out of sync, overlapping, like multiple versions speaking at once. Echoed, it layered. But the voice didn't stop. The image fractured slightly. The screen distorted. Your throat tightened. You didn't escape, but clear. Not loud, not dramatic. The other you spoke. And then, one decision, two states, two versions, simultaneous existence. This was connection. This wasn't playback. There was no delay, no disconnect. That shouldn't be possible. Your entire body went cold, through the screen, at you, not at the room, not at the phone, and looked up. Deliberately, slowly, moved, that version of you, and then needed to understand. Confused, desperate, because something inside you, closer than you meant to, you leaned closer. Without you, still unfolding, still happening, that was now. That wasn't a recording. That wasn't the past. Your breath stopped. Would you like to reset your life? Staring at the same message, holding the same phone. That version of you sat on the edge of a bed, worn, not just tired, your eyes heavy with something deeper than exhaustion, your posture slightly collapsed, not in years but in weight. Older, you watched yourself, your real room, that was yours, that room, because you recognized it instantly. Drawn in, you stepped closer without realizing it. Real, darker, messier, another room, another you, but not the version standing here, of you, uncontrolled, unfiltered, something closer to a live feed. Not exactly, not a video, it showed you something, and then stabilized. Briefly, the screen flickered, tracking, measuring, adjusting. It was watching, it wasn't just existing. This place wasn't passive. Of course it knew. It knew. Completely. You froze. Memory deviation detected. Another line appeared. But enough. Not sharply. Your chest tightened. Stability check initiated. Like it had been activated the moment you touched that scratch. Already waiting. Already on. A screen. On the wall. But something was different. Still not yours. Still minimal, still perfect, still empty. The room hadn't changed. You stepped inside, like a label placed on something that used to have a name. Too clean, too simple, just incomplete, not incorrect. It felt wrong. But now, your assigned place in this system, your designation, your number 002. You turn toward your door. It was resistance, and it wasn't just a memory, because something had already slipped through. But it was too late, or both, or a warning. It felt like a rule. Now, at the time, it sounded like advice. Don't try to remember. You remembered what they said. You knew that without knowing how you knew it. That wasn't supposed to happen. Too loud for this place. Fast, loud. Your heart was racing now, but your body didn't. Clean, silent, controlled. The hallway returned, like it had never happened. Gone. The vision collapsed. You pulled your hand back instantly, from before, not from here. Calling your name, a voice, final, real, loud. A door slamming behind you, your chest burning, your breath sharp, uneven, running. You, a flash, a sudden rupture. Inside, not outside. Your vision glitched, and the moment your skin made full contact, like you were afraid it might disappear if you moved too fast. Carefully, your fingers traced it slowly. And this wasn't, because everything else in this place was perfect. That was the first thing you understood. It didn't belong here, real, small, uneven, a scratch, but not completely gone, almost erased, faint, a mark. There, something different. Because you felt it, your fingers didn't move away this time. You stopped, except nothing that proved anyone had ever been here at all. Nothing that proved anyone had ever touched it before. No fingerprints, no texture, no variation, no history. Too smooth, smooth. Your hand brushed against the wall. Something hidden beneath the perfection. There was something here, like some part of you was telling you. By instinct, not by choice. Your steps slowed, but as someone trying to remember something they weren't supposed to remember. Not as someone curious. You were searching. You weren't observing. But this time, same doors, same numbers, same endless symmetry. You walked the hallway again, like a quiet scratch inside your skull that wouldn't stop, subtle, but persistent. Not in a way you could point to. Not something you could fix. Something was wrong. It refused to follow. And your mind. Just stillness. No heaviness in your eyes. No pull toward unconsciousness. Your body was perfectly rested. Too rested. But because nothing inside you felt like it needed to. Not because you couldn't. You didn't sleep. Without you was still running. Your old life. Not far from here. And somewhere. This was a replacement. This wasn't a reset, but enough. Not fully, not clearly. You understood something, because now your breath became uneven, half a second late, but not instantly, and it followed. You moved, like a shadow that didn't belong to any light source. Flat, faint, on the wall beside you, not in a mirror, your reflection appeared, and then just absence. No footsteps, no sound. Gone. The person in front of you, silent, controlled, perfect again. Everything snapped back. Then, something real, something misaligned, something underneath. Not the perfect version, not the clean version. You saw something else. And in that moment, just for a fraction of a second, the hallway distorted, stronger, sharper. Not like before. The lights flickered. Before you could respond, don't try to remember, almost like they were breaking a rule just by saying it. Soft, careful, and then they spoke, knowingly, not warmly, not kindly. Then they smiled. It felt like they knew something you didn't. But in that second, only for a second, they looked at you like something essential had been removed. And nothing had replaced it. Just hollow, not peaceful, not calm, empty. Worse, not chaotic, not broken. Something was wrong. But their eyes, just like your reflection, clean, perfect, untouched, but close enough to recognize the pattern. Not exactly. They looked like you. Someone stepped out, slowly, a door across the hall opened. It didn't start with you, and whatever this place was, you weren't the first. Enough to feel it, just slightly. Your pulse changed. Number 002, subtle but undeniable. A faint glow beneath your skin. You looked down at your wrist, each one marked with a number. No identity, no variation. Perfect spacing, perfect alignment. Identical doors lined both sides. Long, symmetrical, endless. The hallway stretched out in front of you, like it had been waiting for you to arrive. Smooth, not fast, not mechanical. The door opened before you touched it. Your body just did. You didn't remember deciding to move. You turned toward the door. The moment you said yes, just the decision, not the things you lost, not the life you lived. Sharp, clear, unavoidable, stayed. And that memory, you remember choosing this. You chose this. Didn't belong here anymore. Because those memories, they couldn't. But your thoughts didn't hold. You reached for them, slipping through your mind like something rejected, and disappeared just as fast. They came suddenly, a feeling but no origin, a name but no voice, a laugh but no face, like broken files trying to load themselves into a system that no longer supported them. Fragments, not clearly, not fully, memories began to surface. And then, but with absence, not with pain, your chest felt heavier now, disposable, something adjustable, replaceable, like your entire existence had been reduced to a setting, detached. The word felt clinical. Baseline, this is your new baseline. Another line followed. Again, recognition, not panic. Your stomach tightened slightly this time. Back. Welcome back. Just revealed. Not animated, not loading. Words appeared, waiting for you to notice it. It was just there. No visible source, no wires, no activation. A screen lit up on the wall. You turned. A soft sound broke the silence. Without a past, a finished version of you. Just a clean surface, but there was nothing. A trace of who you used to be. A scar, a flaw, a mistake that survived the reset. Anything for something. Searching. Your eyes locked onto your own. You leaned closer. It was executing, like it wasn't reacting. No micro delay, no imperfection. Too exactly. Instantly, the reflection followed. You raised your hand, but undeniably, not visibly, something was missing, and yet, perfect. Without everything that ever wore you down. It was you. No evidence of damage. No dark circles, no fatigue. No shadows from the things you used to carry. No trace of sleepless nights or overthinking spirals. No redness, no weight behind them. Your eyes were clearer. Not younger, just untouched. Cleaner, smoother. Your face, but not entirely, was you. Because the person staring back at you, you stopped. And then, too precise to be natural, each step felt controlled, measured. You walked toward it slowly. This mattered. But because some part of you already knew, not out of fear, you hesitated. It wasn't meant to be noticed immediately. Or maybe you didn't notice when you first woke up. A mirror stood in the corner, like the concept itself hadn't loaded yet. Not even the idea of ownership felt right. There was nothing here that belonged to you. You realized. But the moment your fingers closed around nothing, something to anchor you, your hand reached for something, your phone, your clothes, anything familiar. Instinct took over. You stood up. It reset precisely, like whatever brought you here didn't move forward. No delay, no difference. Exactly the same time, not loudly, just enough. Your breath caught. 3:17 a.m. Simple, sharp, unblinking. A digital clock on the wall. Your eyes moved to the only thing that seemed to matter. It had no memory of you. It wasn't just that the room was clean. because that's what felt wrong. Not even you. No signs that anyone had ever lived here. No clutter, no objects out of place. A floor, spotless. A wall, unmarked. There was a bed, perfectly made, not empty intentional. That was the first word your mind reached for. Minimal. The room revealed itself in pieces, like it had already done this before many times. Your body responded instantly, smooth, efficient, testing the movement. You sat up slowly, just a calm that didn't feel earned. No spike of confusion, no rush of panic. Too steady. Your heart was steady, like every trace of wear had been carefully removed. No tension, no soreness. No weight from yesterday. Every muscle rested exactly where it should be. Every joint felt perfectly balanced. Too aligned. Not in pain, not injured. Not because you were afraid, but because something about your body felt wrong. You didn't move at first, like it had never passed through anything alive. Processed. Not fresh in the way morning air feels, but filtered. Cleaner, colder. The air was different too. It didn't feel new, it felt unused. No cracks, no stains, no history. Too smooth, too white, too untouched. The ceiling above you was unfamiliar, just awareness already there. There was no transition you could remember. No dream fading, no moment of waking. Not in your bed, not in your room, not in your life. You woke up. And then, like your awareness had shifted just slightly out of alignment with your body, a subtle disconnect. Inside, not outside, because something changed. But that thought didn't last long. A question, an answer, and then nothing. That maybe this was it. For a brief moment, you thought nothing happened. Like the world had been muted not around you, but beneath you. Heavier. This one was deeper, but not the same silence as before. Silence. Just no explosion of light. No system reboot. No cinematic blackout. There was no dramatic sound. You pressed yes. Resignation. Or maybe acceptance. Recognition. Drowned out by something else. It was quieter now. Because whatever part of you was afraid, it didn't hesitate, it didn't shake. Your fingers stopped hovering. Something certain, something automatic, but because something deeper had taken over. Not because you were calm, your breathing slowed. Have you already done it? How many times it became not anymore? It wasn't, should you reset your life? The question changed, and suddenly, like you were continuing, like this wasn't your first time here, but in the middle of it, like you weren't standing at the beginning of something, not a moment repeating, but a decision, but heavier, like deja vu, a feeling you couldn't name, subtle, quiet, but undeniable, shifted, because something inside you, it just existed as if the explanation wasn't necessary. It didn't clarify. It didn't correct you. The message didn't explain. Do you? You don't remember choosing anything. You don't remember seeing this message. You don't remember trying this before. Attempt, like your body understood something your mind hadn't caught up to yet. Just suddenly, not dramatically, not violently. Your blood ran cold. Attempt number 1. A number appeared. And then, like something underneath had just shifted, a sharp distortion, a break in the surface. This time it wasn't subtle. The screen flickered again, and right before you touched it, closer than before, your finger moved just lightly this time, unmoving, unjudging, still there. Yes, no. You looked back at the screen. Clean. It wipes. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't ask who you were. It doesn't care what you learned, because reset doesn't collaborate. That word stayed longer than the others. Not fix, not improve. Reset. Reset your life. Just a presence that refused to leave. No ticking clock, no pressure. like an interrogation that didn't need questions. The glow of your phone lit your face soft, pale, artificial, like the space around you had quietly pulled away, leaving you more exposed than before. Not physically, but perceptually. The room felt colder, or just emptier. Would you become better? Erase it. Not bury it, not cope with it, not grow from it. What if you could erase all of it, waiting somewhere inside you, even though you know it still does? The version of yourself you pretend never existed too well. The decisions you keep replaying, not because you don't understand them, but because you do. The nights you never talked about. The ones that exist only in memory because you made sure no one else would see them. The darker ones. And then, moments that felt small at the time, but somehow grew heavier the further away they became. Words you said too quickly and the ones you never said at all. Missed chances you didn't recognize until they were already gone. Awkward silences that stretched longer than they should have. Disconnected, uneven, uncomfortable. Just fragments. No music, no structure, no clean sequence of cause and effect. Because your life didn't replay like a movie, but that didn't help. Not really looking at anything, just letting your eyes rest somewhere your thoughts wouldn't have to. You leaned back, staring at the ceiling. That would be the part you couldn't reset. And maybe, then you'd also remember what you gave up. Because if you remembered choosing it, a consequence. That was a condition. That wasn't reassurance. That wasn't comfort. But enough. Your breath caught just slightly. You will remember that you chose this, waiting for you, watching you, but as if something somewhere was typing it, not instantly like before. Slowly, a second line appeared, and then, close enough to choose, not close enough to commit. Your finger hovered above the screen, easier to carry, cleaner, or rewritten into something smoother. Would all of it be erased like a corrupted file? The invisible things that don't feel important until they're gone. Memories, pain, love, regret. Would you lose everything that made you? Or worse, avoid the people who broke you. Stay when you chose to leave. Leave when you chose to stay. Say the things you never said. Undo your biggest mistakes. Would you go back to childhood, to the version of yourself before things got complicated? What would reset even mean? Not forward, but backward. Your mind began to wander. You already knew your answer, because deep down, before logic, before doubt, before hesitation, recognition, something quieter, but something else, not out of fear. Your heart started beating faster. It didn't need to. It didn't demand attention. The message didn't disappear, didn't refresh, didn't behave like anything you had ever seen before. Waiting, unchanged, still there. Then you unlocked it again, long enough for your heartbeat to become noticeable. Maybe longer, a few seconds. You waited. Your reflection stared back at you, distorted slightly in the dark glass. The screen went black instantly. You locked your phone, like this moment hadn't just appeared, it had finally arrived. In recognition, not in memory, it felt familiar. It didn't feel random, because something about it didn't feel new. But the longer you looked, the less those explanations held. Something safe, something explainable, a prank, a marketing trick, a social experiment. At first, your brain did what it always does. It tried to reduce it. You stared at it longer than you'd like to admit. Yes, no, just two options beneath it. No emojis, no explanation, no second line. Would you like to reset your life? Just presence. No transition, no animation, no arrival. The message was already there, and when it stabilized, something intentional. Something else, not like a glitch, not like a dying battery. The screen flickered, and then, not really looking for anything, but also not ready to stop. You were just scrolling, half awake, half lost. Where time doesn't move forward, it lingers. The kind of night where silence isn't empty, it presses against your ears. It appeared at 3:17 a.m. on a night that felt heavier than usual. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a way you could explain to someone else, but in that quiet, suffocating way where even your thoughts feel louder than the world around you. You weren't supposed to see it. It's about deciding which version of you deserves to exist. Because this isn't about changing your life, so think carefully. You will remember that you chose this. A second line appears, and just before you touch the screen, erase every mistake. Undo every regret. Become someone cleaner. Not fix it, not improve it, reset. Would you like to reset your life? Just one question. No notification, no sound, no sender. At 3:17 a.m. your phone lights up. At 3:17 a.m. your phone asks you one question. Do you want to reset your life? But this time, you remember everything.